one of the finest guys I've met in a long time. White, black, Indian, Polynesian, doesn't matter. And you're to be commended for your attitude. You're to be commended for the success that you've achieved. And I only wish I had met you back when I was 16 and was both afraid of and mad at all of the blacks that moved into our area for no reason.
Which part of Chicago are you from?
I'm from the western suburbs, Berwyn and Cicero.
Okay, so like you told me something about where did the actual Martin Luther King march, which was later in the
Martin Luther King marched down the dividing line between Chicago and Cicero. Cicero was probably one of the most racist areas around because all of the white people who lived in the downtown area, when the blacks started moving in from the south, and the Mexicans and the Puerto Ricans started moving into that area, they all ran and they came to Cicero because it was a nice little bedroom community. But what it created was a hatred for anything that didn't look like them,
yes,
anything that wasn't white. And so Martin Luther King walked down that dividing line between Chicago and Cicero. And he had a couple hundred followers marching with him. Both sides of the street were lined with people yelling and screaming at him, telling him to go back to Africa, that kind of stuff, which was stupid, absolutely stupid. I was there, but I was too embarrassed to say anything like they were saying. And as I told you, some of my close friends that I hung around with for many years were up on the rooftops throwing bags of piss at him, throwing bags of shit at him, water bottles filled with urine at him, and I was embarrassed to be white. I really was. And that led to my wife and I training our daughter to look beyond the skin color, look beyond the rhetoric that spews out of both whites and blacks, and try to find something good in the other person. Doesn't matter what it is, and concentrate on that. And as a result, she has more black, Filipino, Puerto Rican, Mexican friends than she has white friends.
So let me ask you a couple questions.
Sure.
So Chicago, the Puerto Rican community that started coming in the late 40s, they had a group called the Young Lords. Did you hear about that? Have you ever heard about them?
No, I don't remember
or
hearing
Oscar
about
Lopez Rivera, who was,
yeah.
What do you recall about Oscar Lopez Rivera?
Not a whole heck of a lot. I'm just familiar with the name.
Okay. Because most people, when I bring up their name, they think terrorists. They think of the group called Fawn.
No, he was a labor leader. Was he a labor leader?
He was in a group called Fawn, and he was actually arrested and put in jail, I believe, for close to 30 years for seditious treason. Like, he didn't actually hurt no one, but he was labeled as a terrorist. And last year, they were going to, in the Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York City, they were going to have him be the Grand Marshal.
And everybody yelled and screamed about that.
Yes.
I remember the Black Panthers. I have a very close friend who was in our congregation, and he was actually a running back for the Cleveland Browns. And he had a call back, a Bible study on a fellow who was black.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Frontier Airlines, we'd like to
Gotta
welcome
go.
Hey, can you introduce yourself to
I'm
everyone?
Jay.
Jay.
Okay, you take care. I live in Naples, Florida.
Okay, Jay.
Love it.
Yes, sir.
And actually, I love you too, brother.
I love you too, brother.